Alright, so I chose to interview a friend of my cousin because I knew he graduated from ASU about 10 years ago with the same major as I am pursuing right now, and he ended up going into something along the lines of what I'm interested in doing. So the individual that I interviewed is Jason Little, and he works for Beats by Dre. Going into the interview, I expected him to be working in a group setting where everyone comes together to make decisions on what kind of ads they want to create and who they want to include in those ads. I didn't really have an idea made up in my mind of what they did on a daily basis, though. So, jumping right into it, his official job title is Associate Video Director with a specialty in video strategy. And he's been at that position for about 2 years. Um, Before asking about his daily tasks, I wanted to get more information on how he got to that point and what kind of preparation he took to prepare himself for this job. So, Jason basically told me that if he had to say something, he would say that he needed a degree and some kind of prior work experience in the field. However, he said in all seriousness that he did not really prepare for this position. Um, he's a video director, which means he is a team leader that hires people to work on his team. So, what he said was in his interviews, when he's interviewing people, he doesn't really focus too much on the resume itself, but instead focuses on the person and how they carry themselves and if they're able to carry a conversation. So he said that he was able to get the position he's in not because of his work experience per se, but more because of his confidence in his communication skills and his learned skills and abilities through prior work experience. So, not so much the resume itself, but how he carried himself through those skills with those skills. Um, After that discussion, I asked him about his daily tasks, and basically he said he works on promotional videos for Beats. So he's in charge of campaign management, which entails him following up with ads to make sure everything is running smoothly, and working to recruit clients into the company and help basically promote the brand, which means that majority of his workday he spends on his phone negotiating and following up with clients, um, and as well as like collaborating in a group setting. When I asked him if he felt like he had a lot of freedom in his work, he said that yes, although he works in a team a majority of the time, he's able to work independently to create ideas and manage clients alone. When asked about the work environment, he related it to a trading floor, which essentially means that it's a really fast paced environment. I also asked him to give a few tips on what he believed was important to succeed in his job. And he said it's important to be personable, have really good problem solving skills. You have to be you're working in a fast paced environment, so you have to know how to like solve people's problems really quickly. And something funny is he just said you really need to know how to BS your way through conversations and different situations. Like I said, you're working really fast paced, so you have to know how to like come up with something on the spot. So I also asked about the future of the industry, and he said there's a lot of growth to be expected in this field, and there's a lot of possibilities to move up in the company, depending on how much work you want to put into it. So after asking his permission, I asked him the salary range for someone in his position, and he said from 90 to 110K annually. Reflecting back on the interview, I would say it was very casual. It was easily discussing what he did, and he wasn't overly formal with sharing the information, but instead he gave me the information without filtering out anything that may be kind of the opposite of what we learned in school about experience and education in general. After this interview, I felt a lot more positive about pursuing a career along these lines. However, it was a little intimidating when he was talking about the work environment and the need for you to have a really loud voice on the job, and just how fast paced it was in general. The job does have some similarities to what I thought prior to the interview in terms of the job tasks. However, I wasn't expecting so much freedom and independence in the position, considering you're working in a team majority of the time. So that was a good thing, though. I think it's good to be able to have your own independence in your work, because I believe it's more rewarding that way. And yeah, I think another interesting part of the interview was that he showed me a promotional video that is coming with a really big pop artist right now, and it's kind of like exclusive, so he told me that I couldn't tell anyone about it, but that was probably the most interesting part of the interview.